saw one of our exes somewhere at a game somewhere, and I shook his hand. Boy, I can't even touch his ass no more. I better not acknowledge him or look at him or nothing no more. So I'm off.
Hollywood was buzzing, but nothing prepared the world for Steve Harvey's explosive reaction to Michael B. Jordan's Oscar win. What started as a celebration of one of Hollywood's biggest stars quickly spiraled into controversy when Harvey didn't hold back about Jordan's N-word comments. Social media exploded, fans split, and the internet erupted with heated debates. Why was Harvey so fired up? Was it about respect, tradition, or something deeper tied to Hollywood's culture wars? People couldn't stop replaying the clip, dissecting every word, and predicting what the fallout would be. Jordan's win was historic, but Harvey's reaction stole the headlines, and it wasn't pretty. Some called it a bold call-out, others labeled it overstepping, but no one could ignore it. From TikTok to Twitter, memes and reactions flooded every feed, turning a single Oscar win into a full-blown cultural debate. And just when you thought it might die down, Harvey's words started trending globally, forcing celebrities, fans, and even industry insiders to pick a side. The tension is real, the stakes are high, and the truth behind this clash goes far beyond Hollywood's glitz and glam. What does this mean for Michael B. Jordan's reputation? Can Harvey's fiery response reshape public perception? And most importantly, what does this moment say about fame, accountability, and the power of words in the entertainment world? The scene is set, the stage is lit, and the drama is just getting started. As the room erupted with applause for Michael B. Jordan, the air was thick with excitement, but Steve Harvey's reaction changed everything. While most of Hollywood was focused on Jordan's historic Oscar win, Harvey's expression told a completely different story. He leaned forward, eyes narrowing, as he addressed not only the win but comments Jordan had made about the N-word, comments that had ignited a firestorm weeks prior. The audience held their breath. For Harvey, this wasn't just about awards or politics. It was about respect, tradition, and the larger conversation about language, culture, and influence. Social media didn't wait. Clips of Harvey's reaction spread like wildfire, racking up millions of views in hours. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, they all lit up with hashtags like hashtag Steve Harvey Speaks, hashtag Michael B. Jordan, and hashtag Oscar Drama. Fans debated endlessly. Was Harvey defending the culture, or was he out of touch? Some called it a necessary wake-up, while others accused him of overshadowing a historic moment with personal bias. Memes flooded the feeds, Harvey shaking his head, Michael B. Jordan's smile frozen mid-acceptance, and the tension between respect for tradition versus celebrating achievement played out for the world to see. To understand the magnitude of this reaction, you need context. Michael B. Jordan, acclaimed for his transformative roles and massive influence in Hollywood, had long been celebrated for his talent, charisma, and advocacy. His Oscar win was a milestone not just for him personally, but for representation in the industry, a victory decades in the making for Black actors in roles often overlooked by the Academy. But the controversy surrounding his N-word comments had already complicated his narrative. Critics argued that Jordan's choice of words, though used in an artistic and cultural context, wasn't universally accepted, sparking debates about language, generational perspectives, and accountability in public spaces. Harvey's reaction added fuel to that fire. Known for his outspoken personality and decades of experience in entertainment, Harvey didn't mince words. He framed his critique around the importance of influence and responsibility. Public figures don't just entertain, they shape conversations, perceptions, and cultural norms. Millions of fans, young and old, look up to icons like Jordan. Harvey's point? When you have a platform of this magnitude, every word carries weight. And for Harvey, the N-word discussion wasn't just a trivial matter, it was about preserving respect and understanding in a culture still grappling with its history. Meanwhile, Hollywood insiders watched closely. Studio executives, fellow actors, and even producers were aware that Harvey's comments could trigger a chain reaction. Some privately applauded his courage to speak up, believing that accountability is crucial, even at award shows. Others worried that the clash could overshadow Jordan's achievements and spark further divisions in the industry. For the public, it became a defining moment, the collision of talent, legacy, and the moral responsibilities of influence. Adding to the tension, fans began revisiting Jordan's past interviews and public statements, analyzing every syllable for context. Some defended him, highlighting his artistic intent and the cultural significance of his language choices. Others felt Harvey's critique was justified, arguing that even celebrated figures must navigate their platforms responsibly. Talk shows, podcasts, and news outlets dove in, dissecting the incident line by line. Every viral clip, reaction tweet, and opinion piece expanded the conversation, pulling in millions globally. Then came the fan reactions. On Instagram, thousands flooded the comment sections with divided opinions. Some praised Harvey for calling out a generational disconnect, while others criticized him for overshadowing Jordan's historic win. TikTok creators reenacted the moment, overlaying music and commentary, turning it into a cultural moment that transcended the Oscars stage. The hashtags trended for days, sparking debates about race, language, and celebrity influence. Behind the scenes, the actors themselves were adjusting. Jordan, composed yet visibly aware of the tension, navigated interviews with grace, emphasizing the importance of context and dialogue. He addressed Harvey's comments, acknowledging the power of words while defending the artistic intent behind his statements. Harvey, in true form, doubled down on his message, stressing that influence isn't just about talent, it's about responsibility, respect, and understanding the historical weight of certain words. The cultural significance of this moment cannot be understated. Here was a clash between two influential Black figures, one celebrating unprecedented achievement, the other challenging the responsibilities that come with that influence. This was more than entertainment gossip. It was a generational and cultural dialogue played out on a global stage. And while the dust began to settle in Hollywood, the online world remained ablaze. Memes, reaction videos, and opinion threads multiplied by the hour. Celebrities weighed in, some agreeing with Harvey's stance, others supporting Jordan's freedom to express himself. Analysts debated the broader implications, noting that the incident reflected ongoing tensions in Hollywood about race, language, and power dynamics. Ultimately, the Steve Harvey and Michael B. Jordan controversy became a teaching moment about influence, accountability, and the complex intersection of fame and culture. It reminded everyone that winning an Oscar is not just about talent, but about navigating the scrutiny, responsibility, and expectations that come with being a public figure in a highly connected, highly opinionated world. By the end of the night, one thing was clear. This wasn't just about an award or a controversial comment. It was a cultural flashpoint, a conversation starter, and a lesson in how words, power, and history collide in the public eye. And for millions watching, it became a defining moment, one that would be referenced for years as a case study in influence, accountability, and the power of speaking your truth, even when it shakes the world. The morning after the Oscars, Hollywood, and the world was still buzzing. Clips of Steve Harvey's reaction and Michael B. Jordan's poised responses had gone viral overnight, racking up millions of views across platforms. But while social media dissected every second, the real story was how this clash was affecting the industry behind the scenes. Producers, agents, and studio executives were scrambling to gauge the impact on both men's careers. For Harvey, the reaction reaffirmed his reputation as someone unafraid to speak his mind. For Jordan, it was a delicate balancing act, celebrating his historic win while defending his right to express himself. Interviews began pouring in. Late-night shows invited both sides to share their perspectives, with each host navigating the fine line between entertainment and cultural critique. Jordan emphasized the importance of artistic freedom, explaining that his comments about the N-word were rooted in history, art, and the African American experience. He highlighted how the word, while controversial, had a layered meaning in the context of creative expression. Harvey, meanwhile, maintained that public figures carry the weight of influence, reminding audiences that millions of young fans watch and emulate their behavior. Fans weren't passive observers. They were participants. Online polls, Twitter debates, and Instagram comment wars erupted. Some defended Jordan's freedom of expression, arguing that Harvey's critique seemed like an attempt to police cultural language. Others sided with Harvey, suggesting that even legends like Jordan must understand the responsibility that comes with their platforms. TikTok creators turned the event into a series of viral skits, reenacting Harvey's gestures and Jordan's facial expressions with added humor, further amplifying the reach of the controversy. Meanwhile, Hollywood insiders quietly debated the potential fallout. Jordan's management team strategized carefully, aware that public sentiment could influence endorsements, film projects, and future award nominations. Harvey's team, on the other hand, emphasized that his reputation for candid commentary often bolsters his brand rather than diminishes it. For both men, this was no longer just about a single event. It had become a defining cultural moment, shaping public perception and legacy. Academics and cultural commentators joined the conversation, analyzing the generational divide represented by the clash. Many noted that Jordan's rise coincided with a younger, more socially connected era of Black celebrities who navigate fame differently than previous generations. Harvey represented an older perspective, emphasizing respect, history, and the responsibility that comes with influence. The intersection of these viewpoints sparked essays, think pieces, and panel discussions about race, language, and the evolving expectations of public figures. Even brands and sponsors took notice. With Jordan's star power and Harvey's long-standing reputation, companies wanted to understand potential risks and opportunities. PR teams monitored hashtags and engagement metrics, measuring how the public perceived the tension. Marketing campaigns were adjusted subtly, ensuring that neither Jordan's victory nor Harvey's critique was overshadowed by miscommunication. Meanwhile, fan-driven content kept the story alive, with reaction videos, memes, and commentary threads circulating nonstop. On the streets, conversations mirrored what was happening online. Conversations in barbershops, community centers, and local gatherings were dominated by debates over cultural responsibility, artistic expression, and the legacy of words. For many, this was not just celebrity drama, it was a reflection of deeper societal conversations about language, identity, and generational differences. Parents, educators, and community leaders debated the message being sent to young audiences who look up to figures like Jordan and Harvey. Back in Hollywood, Jordan attended post-Oscar events, carefully navigating questions about Harvey's remarks. He struck a balance between humility and assertiveness, expressing gratitude for the recognition while addressing the controversy head-on. Harvey, meanwhile, continued to speak publicly about the incident, framing his comments within the broader context of mentorship and the influence of Black icons on future generations. Both men were acutely aware that their words and actions were being scrutinized on a global scale. The media frenzy wasn't limited to mainstream outlets. Independent bloggers, YouTube commentators, and podcast hosts dissected the incident minute by minute. Each platform offered a unique perspective. Some critiqued Jordan for not fully addressing the historical weight of the N-word, while others questioned Harvey's approach, suggesting it risked overshadowing Jordan's monumental achievement. The sheer volume of content ensured that the debate would persist for weeks, if not months. In the midst of the controversy, both Jordan and Harvey found unexpected allies. Fellow actors, musicians, and influencers voiced support for their respective stances, adding layers to the public discourse. Some highlighted the importance of artistic freedom, while others emphasized accountability and the responsibility of cultural icons. The dialogue became multifaceted, extending beyond a single Oscars moment to encompass broader issues of race, influence, and generational perspectives. Social media also amplified nuance. Clips were slowed down, analyzed frame by frame, and shared with commentary about body language, tone, and delivery. Memes, reaction videos, and opinion threads added humor, anger, or support, creating a digital ecosystem that kept the conversation alive. The public's engagement was relentless, demonstrating how moments like these transcend celebrity gossip and evolve into cultural touchstones. Meanwhile, Jordan's team carefully curated responses, emphasizing educational outreach and highlighting his role as a mentor and advocate. Harvey, too, leaned into the cultural implications of his statements, framing the conversation as a teachable moment about influence, respect, and legacy. Both men understood that the stakes extended beyond Hollywood. They were shaping societal conversations that would resonate with millions of fans across generations. At the core, the clash represented a generational dialogue. Jordan, representing younger audiences and new paradigms of fame, approached language and expression with fluidity and context. Harvey, a seasoned figure in entertainment, approached influence with caution, emphasizing responsibility and cultural awareness. The tension between these perspectives captured a moment in time, reflecting the evolving dynamics of celebrity influence, race, and public perception. As weeks passed, the initial virality of the Oscars clip transitioned into deeper analysis. Cultural critics wrote extensively about the responsibilities of Black icons, the power of language in shaping identity, and the balance between artistic expression and social accountability. Academic panels examined the incident, highlighting its implications for future generations of entertainers. Meanwhile, fans continued to debate online, ensuring that the conversation remained active, dynamic, and evolving. The controversy surrounding Steve Harvey and Michael B. Jordan had become more than a viral clip. It had become a cultural event, a lesson in influence, and a lens through which society examined the intersection of fame, responsibility, and identity. The fallout would shape not only their careers, but also the way Hollywood, media, and audiences engage with celebrity voices in the future. As the weeks turned into months, the Steve Harvey, Michael B. Jordan controversy evolved from viral headlines to a deeper cultural discussion. The initial clips of Harvey's N-word critique and Jordan's Oscar win continued circulating, but now the conversation had expanded. Entertainment journalists, academics, and social commentators began framing it not as a simple celebrity spat, but as a case study on generational dynamics, influence, and responsibility within the Black community. The public wasn't just reacting, they were analyzing, debating, and questioning how cultural icons should navigate fame in a hyper-connected world. Behind the scenes, both Harvey and Jordan were strategically managing their narratives. Jordan focused on leveraging his Oscar win to highlight his philanthropic efforts, mentorship programs, and advocacy for African American representation in film. By reframing the discussion around his broader contributions, he shifted public attention from the controversy to his work ethic, artistic achievements, and commitment to empowering younger generations. Every public appearance, interview, and social media post was carefully curated to reinforce this narrative. Meanwhile, Harvey doubled down on his position, using the incident as a platform to discuss the responsibility of public figures. He delivered speeches at industry panels, participated in podcasts, and authored opinion pieces reflecting on mentorship, accountability, and the influence of words. Harvey emphasized that while artistic freedom is vital, celebrities wield extraordinary power over impressionable audiences. This framing resonated with many in the older generation who valued legacy, history, and cultural preservation, strengthening Harvey's image as a cultural custodian. Social media continued to serve as a battleground. Clips from interviews, red carpet events, and public speeches were dissected in real time, often with new layers of analysis added by fans, influencers, and meme creators. TikTok and Instagram became particularly influential, spreading both humorous takes and serious discussions. The virality of the content ensured that younger audiences, who may not have been aware of Harvey's history or Jordan's accomplishments, became engaged in the debate. The narrative shifted from a single Oscars moment to a broader conversation about celebrity influence, racial identity, and generational perspectives on language. In Hollywood, producers, directors, and studios carefully observed the fallout. Jordan's marketability remained strong, but there were cautious conversations about brand alignment and partnerships. Harvey's visibility increased, with networks and talk shows emphasizing his role as a cultural commentator. Both men's influence extended beyond entertainment. They became symbols in debates about race, power, and ethics. Publicists from rival camps watched closely, analyzing every move for potential leverage. Cultural scholars weighed in, framing the incident as emblematic of a generational shift. Harvey represented the old guard, a time when respect, decorum, and mentorship defined the public persona of Black celebrities. Jordan symbolized a new era in which younger entertainers balance authenticity, artistic expression, and social responsibility while navigating a global platform amplified by social media. This tension reflected broader societal shifts, highlighting evolving norms about acceptable language, public critique, and intergenerational dialogue. Meanwhile, grassroots communities engaged deeply with the story. In barbershops, schools, and community centers across the U.S., the controversy sparked debates about cultural values, language, and responsibility. Parents discussed with children the balance between freedom of expression and respect, while young people debated the meaning of the N-word in contemporary culture. This wasn't just Hollywood gossip. It had real-world implications for how language, influence, and identity are perceived and internalized. Interestingly, both Harvey and Jordan found unexpected allies in surprising places. Influencers, comedians, and educators publicly supported their stances, creating a multi-layered discourse. Some emphasized Jordan's right to artistic freedom, highlighting how he was using his platform to challenge cultural norms. Others supported Harvey's perspective, emphasizing accountability and the importance of mentorship in guiding the next generation. This polarization mirrored broader cultural debates in society, reflecting generational divides on issues of language, influence, and respect. As time passed, the viral moment evolved into long-term reflection. Jordan used his platform to fund workshops and programs focused on mentorship, mental health, and creative expression for young Black artists. Harvey continued hosting panels and producing media content that emphasized education, responsibility, and cultural awareness. Their public positions were no longer just about the Oscars incident. They became part of a sustained effort to shape discourse and inspire dialogue. The media narrative shifted from outrage to impact. Analysts praised Jordan for turning a potential PR nightmare into an opportunity for advocacy, while Harvey was celebrated for leveraging his commentary to highlight structural lessons about influence and responsibility. Both men, despite initial tension, became case studies in strategic communication, illustrating how public figures can navigate controversy while reinforcing their personal brands and cultural legacies. Interestingly, the incident sparked broader industry change. Studios and talent agencies revisited diversity, representation, and mentorship programs for emerging artists. Social media platforms created more robust moderation and amplification strategies to manage viral controversies. Conversations about responsible influence and public accountability became more mainstream, inspiring workshops, panels, and even academic research in media studies programs. In the end, the Steve Harvey, Michael B. Jordan clash wasn't just a celebrity feud, it was a cultural flashpoint. It exposed generational divides, challenged assumptions about language and influence, and prompted both public and private reflection. Jordan and Harvey, through their responses, highlighted that conflicts, when navigated thoughtfully, can serve as catalysts for broader conversations and meaningful social impact. The Oscars moment had passed, but the ripple effects endured. Audiences had witnessed a rare intersection of fame, culture, and generational dialogue, with lessons about accountability, mentorship, and communication that transcended Hollywood. Steve Harvey's voice continued to resonate with those valuing legacy and responsibility, while Michael B. Jordan became a symbol of artistic courage, authenticity, and strategic media management. Ultimately, the controversy revealed that celebrity influence is multifaceted. It carries the power to inspire, provoke, educate, and challenge societal norms. Both Harvey and Jordan emerged with their reputations intact, but enriched with new opportunities to shape cultural discourse. The viral moment became a lasting reminder that fame is never just about awards or accolades. It's about the responsibilities, choices, and legacies that come with the spotlight. Even months later, Commentators continue to revisit the episode, ensuring that the conversation about language, influence, and generational perspectives remains alive. The clash, initially sensationalized as a moment of celebrity drama, evolved into a long-term cultural lesson, one that reshaped discussions around celebrity, accountability, and identity in the modern era.